Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm joined by my good friend Ash from his channel, Ash Raid Shadow Legends. How are you doing today, Ash?
Darth Microtransaction, I'm doing fantastic, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. And me and Ash were just talking. We just did a video over on his channel. Go check him out if you haven't seen it yet, where we kind of talked about all the different rares and which ones are the obvious ones and not so obvious ones to build. But after we recorded that, we got in kind of an interesting topic and we figured we might as well record it anyway. What we've been talking about is we've been playing, you have your free-to-play account, I have my free-to-play account, and we have done the new player experience a lot lately, which got us kind of wondering on how many new players are actually coming to the game. Because as we all know, new players coming to the game equals the lifeblood of the game. So we have a little bit of data and we have a little bit of some talking points we want to talk about with you guys here. And first and foremost, take a guess, Ash, combined, how many downloads do you think in May between Apple and Android they got? New downloads.
Okay, I will say, I don't know, man. I'm going to guess 1 mil.
Hey, that's actually, okay, that's pretty close. If we were doing Price is Right rules, you would still be in the game. No, you're not over. Okay.
I thought I might be going a little high there. Wow. Not bad, not
million.
bad. That's a lot of players, man. That's 1 month.
That's just one.
What is the average retention of a player in Raid, do you think, though? That's the question, right?
Ooh, that is the question.
Yeah, I don't know. But either way, 1 million new players coming in is a good sign.
I don't think the average player gets Arbiter. Because
no, I mean,
right?
this might be, I might be going way too negative here, but I think the average player does not get level 10. You know?
So I brought up here right now, I actually have.
I don't think they get Shaman.
Yeah, true. So Shaman's what, a week basically into the game, you get Shaman at this point. And this account here is a no-life account. I've played what? I think this is my 3rd day on it at the moment, and I'll tell you what, one time no whammies while we're sitting here. I'm going to open the sharp for you, and we'll see what we get. But I have no life on this account, and we're level 30, and it's been about 3 days of consistent no-lifing. I don't know if I'm excited by that. I think
3 days of consistent no-lifing. Congratulations, Darth.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the game's doing really well.
It is doing pretty good from what I've seen. How do you feel about the new player experience?
I feel like it's way better than it was a year ago and 2 years ago. You know, they're making progress. I think that the shame of the new player experience right now is that it's still the same old issues, right? That have been kind of plaguing. That we're aware of this stuff, right? We talked about this for a long time now. But like the difficulty in maxing out higher rarity champions it's still a huge struggle for new players, but even that is still easier than it used to be, right? Now we have advanced quests, we have more missions, and et cetera, et cetera. So I think that everything's moving in the right direction, right? So that's all good. And overall, I'm loving, I know you're the same, man. Like, I like my free-to-play just as much, if not more, than my main account right now. It's a lot of fun, and that's my more new, obviously, account. I say free-to-play, and even if I was a spender, it's a pretty pleasant experience, man. Even some of the endgame stuff I can still do, which I think it's nice how they had kind of the difficulty curve of their new stuff, like Faction Wars, and obviously more recently Doom Tower.
Doom Tower is what unlocks at level 35. I'm sitting here thinking at the top of my head, is that 35 or 45?
I don't even know, honestly, but it was by the time that I started thinking about Doom Tower on my second account, it was unlocked for me. So I think that whatever it is, I think it's a pretty decent range. Like I still felt like I was a new player and I had access to it, you know? You probably have access to it pretty soon on your 3-day-old account, you know?
I'm getting there. I'm surprised how quickly you can actually level when you start playing the game. Because when I started playing the game, and back when you started playing too, a long time ago, there wasn't things like the Forge. And even though, we all basically complained in one form or another about clan versus clan and how it could get better, that's still another form of essentially free rewards for free-to-play people. And we're seeing they're getting 1.1 million downloads a month, which brings me into the question, because if you've seen this video lately, maybe you have, maybe some of the people have, that Kizzo did where he was going through kind of their business plan that he got their hands on, I suppose. And I think it had something to do with taxes or something like that. He got his hands on basically a business pitch of theirs. And they were switching the concept from new player acquisition over to player retention was essentially the thesis of that video that Kizzo came to. And if that is true, it would make sense as to the newer player experience having to get better probably is one of the first things they do. Because if they're getting 1.1 million new people a day, how many are they losing on that same day?
Oh yeah, it's got to be quite a lot. But you know, you're right. Everything's gotten, even for more people who, let's just say they're past their first 30 days or so. People who, you know, play for a couple of months, man, it felt like back in the day, there was a double time event or a 10-time event or a fusion or a fragment summon, something like exciting to do or to at least decide whether you're going to do or not. It felt like that came few and far between. Like there was a couple months at least between these things. And now it feels like every weekend, every week, there's something, you know, something to get excited about, something to play for, you know, and some could argue there's too much going on in the game. But at the end of the day, you can still pick and choose. If you don't want to do something, just don't do something, right? Yeah,
I'm not going to complain about too much stuff. The only ones that I've ever seen that get people mad when there's too much stuff is like if you have a 2x right before an event that's better than like a 2x. You know what I mean? One where they like kind of bait out your resources and then do it.
Yeah, the baiting resources.
But that's part of the game. Their job is to take as much resources, both in-game and in real life, as they can from us. And our job is to do exactly the opposite and get as much from them as we can in-game with keeping as much of our resources as we can. And it's whoever does their job better wins.
Yeah, that's totally true, Darth. And honestly, man, like this game is great. I'm loving the game a lot, you know, as of recently, especially. But and we're going to talk about all the recent additions they've added to the game, I'm sure, which have been tremendous, like the AI and stuff like that. It's just unbelievably good. However, the time issue does need to be solved in order to really, in my opinion, really get that player retention, especially as they progress in the game. Because it's still, I mean, I looked at my phone, man. I'm almost embarrassed to say this. Granted, I wasn't playing the entire time myself in front of the screen, but I had 39 hours this week, Darth. Today, we're recording this on a Sunday, so I just got my phone time report, and that is a full-time job. Like, and I wasn't even enjoying it. It's not like I was playing the game and enjoying it that whole time. I had it off on a charger somewhere on auto attack, you know? So I think that we can probably, you know, limit some of that so we don't have to have our device literally running Raid Shadow Legends just to get the dailies done, you know? So that's like my big thing. That and like legendary, you know, skill tomes, like those are like the easy stuff, silver, and like the stuff that we can still use a lot more of. But I think that generally speaking, that's the only kind of complaints that I even have right now about the game.
Do you buy their excuse that they can't make the game faster because 2x is their technical limit?
No, because for me, and I mentioned this to them on several occasions as well, and I'm sure this is not going to satisfy the player base. I'm not pretending this is the best solution, but it is a solution. There's no worries about technical requirements. Similar to Marvel Strike Force, Darth, I know you play that game or you have in the past because I saw your videos on it back in the day. But like once you're 3-star level, you can just auto complete it. It takes no time. It just one tap and it's done. And I'm not saying that to make everything like that. Just the areas where we use our keys. So faction wars and farming Doom Tower bosses for artifact stuff.
I like
those should
that
just be
solution.
clicks.
I like that. Yeah.
You know, those should just be taps. You don't need to see your faction war team
do it 10
for 15 minutes a day
yeah.
doing the same repetitive thing over and over again. You don't need to, it doesn't bring anybody enjoyment to do that. You know,
that's actually a really good point, you know? You know what? I'm going to raise you one. In Tag Team Arena, I want them to run all 3 battles simultaneously. You know how cool it would be to watch that?
Well, I got some big news for you, Darth.
Huh.
They added that.
Wait, really?
Yeah, bro. You obviously haven't played Tag Team Arena in a week or whatever.
No, wait. You can play them all literally at the same time?
How am I learning?
Okay, now I'm logging onto my main account.
I got a big what?
I'm playing on my main account. This, you know what this proves right here? This proves to you how much basically everyone hates Tag Team Arena.
Yeah, right. I
didn't even know.
And they had that event where you could get the legendary book that you obviously passed on otherwise, because they added it like right around the same time.
No, I didn't get no legendary book, bro. You
but
think
dude,
I
this is
this game?
it was But that was a sick addition as well. I like even autoing into the regular arena. Like I loved all that stuff, man. So much quality of life in that last update.
I'm about to watch. See, this is why I'm only level 64 still, my man. Hold on. Let me go. I have to see this live for myself. There's no way.
Yeah, dude. You're like, you're lying.
Yeah, there's no, okay, so what? Start on auto, and it just does all three of them in a row?
Just does all three in a row.
No, I'm saying simultaneously.
What do you mean?
Okay, let's see.
Run
let's see.
all three?
Okay, we should see right now on the screen, we should see 24 characters.
You mean run them
it
all?
It zooms out, and you see
time.
3 chessboards or whatever, and you see them all fighting at the same time. And it's all 3, bang, done. Just like that. You know how cool that would be? And then the last person who's alive or whatever, the last battle gets zoomed the other ones win, it zooms back into 2, so it cuts the third one out. Then another person won, and it zooms back.
It's like you're watching the Red Zone or something, or you're watching just the action.
Dude, I was about to get so excited for playing right there. I'm like, no way,
dude, I
bro.
thought you meant just like autoing into the next, because it used to be after one round, after one battle goes,
right,
you have to make sure you're in front of your device or whatever to set the next team up, put it on auto or whatever. But now it just runs through them is what I meant.
Right. No, I get it.
That'd be pretty cool.
I get it. I get it. Consecutively.
all those quality of life stuff, man, that was amazing. Even these arena fixes has been tremendous. The bad news is it seems like that's only temporary, that the arena is this juicy right now. But it's a good time to be playing Raid. I feel like they keep adding these new powerful epic champions, and they buffing champions like Vizix, champions that everybody has access to eventually. So I feel like, there's a lot to complain about. There's a lot to be happy about too,
You know what I just realized that no one's ever said about the speed thing, and you know why we know it's BS? So you remember that one content creator who was also a dev who got some shit because he was like giving himself champions and stuff? Well,
I don't, but
okay,
yeah,
whatever.
Now I do.
This is some minor drama like 3 months ago or whatever. It wasn't really a big deal, okay? And he he had 3x, and he used it like in videos. You could see it. So like it's already been proven. Now that I think about it, I'm surprised none of us content creators even thought about that, or maybe someone did. I just haven't seen their video, but like. Yeah, no, it's so he probably deleted those videos by now, but I've literally seen it. It said 3x.
It was like the video. It wasn't Photoshopped like a screenshot. It was the whole video.
He was playing.
It was
like
just
that.
him.
It was him just playing like that.
I think 3 times should be, like, don't get me wrong. I think 3 times speed should be possible. I think that, I think it's possible. I think that what they really are concerned with, at least what I've heard them say, and I'm not sure if you buy this excuse or not, I'm just saying this is what I've heard them say, is they like their art so much that they don't want to ruin the quality of their art and the design in this game by making it so fast that it's not, comprehensible or enjoyable, which I agree with them on the art stuff. But at the same time, something's got to give, man. We can't be playing this game for 10 hours a day.
Sure. I have a counterpoint for you.
Yeah.
The casino prefers it when their customer is inside of the casino the longest in order for said customer to gamble the most.
Yeah. No, I think that you're right, man. I think there's something to be said. Like, I don't know if it's the board of investors at Plarium or the company that owns them, or if it's, the executives. But I know somebody is like, oh my God, we have an average 7-hour a day playtime. This is unbelievable. Like that's a really good stat to have from their point of view, So I don't know if they're very motivated to change that.
So basically what I'm hearing from Ash Raid Shadow Legends is he's saying to the guy over there who's crunching numbers, shove it, nerd.
Nah, yeah, well, because listen, I'm cool with starting with the keys, like I told you, like I think that's in even Clan Boss maybe, right? Like, shoot, I spend 40 minutes a day, maybe more, on Clan Boss every day, and I don't look at one thing. I don't look at it at all. I don't enjoy it at all. It's not like I'm, in awe at the art of the Clan Boss. I'm not. It's
when there's 27 different developers out there making like a third-party program to macro their way through all the different daily activities. Like, there's a problem, sure, but it's like when there's that many people popping up, maybe it's a symptom, not necessarily the disease.
Yeah, and I feel like the community temperature for this, in terms of it being a pain point, the amount of time that you play every day, I think that it's rising pretty steadily over the last, I don't know, 6 months to a year. And I think that eventually they're probably going to act, because eventually those scales will tip, is my hunch, where, it's good for them to have high play time, but now people are so upset about it that it's going to hurt the average viewer or average player retention.
You
So
think it's going to flip flop on them? It's going to
I
backfire.
think because I think people are going to be too upset about it, that they just kind of throw their hands up in the air and they say, well, I'm looking for a game that I can enjoy, not something that I have to literally have my device on for 12 hours a day to complete the daily, everything that you should just do on a daily basis. I'm sure you're in the same situation as me sometimes, Darth, but sometimes I'm like, I want to upgrade this champion, but I still have like 8 hours of work to do on my account. Like,
Yep.
I have to make the decisions as to whether I should just be doing what I ought to be doing, or whether I just want to have some fun and just like mess around the arena or have some fun with champions,
You know the hardest part for me about this game? It's like, I like the game, and even if we forget all of the issues I've had with the company and we literally just look at the game, okay? It's like, I love the game, but it's so hard to make content for because there's nothing interesting or fun to do. Like, you can't make fun. You know how in every single game, think of it this way, how in like every single game out there, Clash of Clans, Call of Duty, whatever, content creators, somebody has a top funny fail moments or whatever channel, where what they do is they get clips from the viewers.
Montages.
They have this for literally every game. Raid has exactly 0 of these. And you would think that, okay, well, the first person to do it's going to go make a bucket. Well, that you can't. Like, I've tried making these type of videos. There's not any, you can't make good, interesting footage of the game because no matter what you're looking at, there's no good footage to work with. The best footage you really get is the intro of the game and the tutorial. You know what I mean? There's no fun stuff to do.
There's the only elements of fun and surprise, with few and far exceptions in between, is just pulling shards,
Yeah, exactly.
like, because that's the only kind of RNG that you have in this game. And I hear what you're saying. I mean, I guess just to play devil's advocate a little bit, like, because I do have a background covering some of those more fun montage games as well. And what Raid has that those don't have is just way more champions in strategy, right? Like, some of those games very limited. Like, you're seeing the same kind of, strategy over and over again. Whereas with 600 champions or whatever they say on other ads, right? Like, there's a lot of different choices if you don't want to play inside the same sandbox as everybody else in Raid. And the other thing I'll say too to that is, I think when/if they do add a real clan versus clan system, a real clan war system. Because in Clash of Clans, for example, I started covering it in 2014 on my other YouTube channel. And in the beginning, for the first 2 years before they introduced in 2016 Clan Wars, it was kind of like that. You're just like, kind of tacking bases, kind of doing the same thing all the time. But when they added that, it opened up almost, now over 5 years, 7 years now of amazing content. That game's still going really strong. So I think once they add that really robust feature of true PvP to the game, I think that's going to be amazing, not just for content creators, but for everybody in this game. And I think it's also going to bring clans together as well, like a more social experience. And I think all that's going to be good for the game.
I agree, right? 'Cause there's basically no social experience currently. And that's kind of the real bummer is in.
How does your clan do in clan versus clan or clan tournaments? Like, do they get excited about them, or they don't even?
Well, we have like 3 clans now because we have the free to play season 1, the free to play season 2, and then we have the main clan. And we were doing basically terrible in the main clan because we were in the higher bracket with a lot of higher power people, and which split our clans. So half of them left and went somewhere else that really cared about it. So we just brought in people that didn't care about clan versus clan at all, and then we've actually been winning like basically all of them since then, but at a lower bracket, and no one's really trying. So what's interesting is you basically, from what I see, is you have to have either 30 people that are like-minded, or just not care at all, because everyone's going to be putting in literal money into trying to beat the clan versus clan, and when they don't win, they're going to get really pissed off because it's going to be like you're pot committed. You know that fallacy, right? Gambler's fallacy. So you get a lot of that in clan versus clan, where it's like we're 80% of what they have. We can win this, and you chase pot commitment. And it's a big tilter. But this whole game is basically designed for gambling and for people with addictions from what I can see, because like you're saying, the whole game is, the real exciting bits are, in fact, the shards. That's basically what you live for. And this game boils down to the thinnest line of understanding what it is that drive people in the gacha game I've ever seen in any game. It's just the shard. Basically, that is their heroin, and they nail it. And
yeah, but I mean, but what is your favorite part of the game? Like my favorite part of the game is arena, personally. And but I still feel like it's a flawed system to a large, and it doesn't solve, because it doesn't feel like PvP to me. It feels like PvE still, right?
It is.
I'm still attacking inanimate people. They're not doing anything, So, but it's still my most fun part of the game. With that said, so for me, I feel like, again, it speaks to the weight that a true PvP feature would have in this game.
Completely agree, because look how much there's websites based around Clan Boss. I mean, look at Deadwood Jedi, one of the smartest guys we all know, right? And he's out there building entire websites that help people with their Clan Boss with all these different crazy characters. I mean, hell, I don't worry about that stuff. I mean, that's way too much math and all that for me. But the Clan Boss was the original thing that brought us together, because we could see other people's damage and basically the other champions people are using. It is mind-blowing to me, Ash, that we are in 2021 and we cannot see other people's rosters. Do you have any idea how much that would encourage monetization? I mean, honest to God, they should offer me a job, because it's like you can play all these mobile games and you understand it. You show what other people own, it makes people jealous.
It does.
Or if you're
and to that point, Darth, and to that point, you know what they should do too? I don't understand why they don't do this. It would be so good for them. In Doom Tower, we have that, clan leaderboard and also the global leaderboard. They should put every single dungeon on that and just have a 30-day run the whole thing in cycles, because you're right. It really, you get those dopamine spikes by wanting to be the best in your clan. And if you're not the best in your clan, you just want to be better. You want to climb in the rankings, that progression, So people really like that. And if you're the best in your clan, you want to be on the top, 50 leaderboard of the world, So I'm surprised they haven't added that.
And when you're in an ocean, and you need some kind of thing to look at in order to understand where you're going, right? It's the same concept when you're looking at Clan Boss damage, because this game is basically a single-player game. And if you don't have something to, as a point of reference, you have no idea how you're doing. So if you join a clan and you're somewhere in the middle, you're like, oh, I'm probably like the average guy. You join a clan and everyone's 85 times your damage, like, I'm probably doing something wrong. Let me go figure it out. So, I love that idea. Every other gacha I've played has something similar to this, or something that you can beat up that shows a comparison to people. And then there's actually rewards based upon how you're doing. So they could even add in, you get one more bonus chest of whatever chest you got if you're in the top 3, or you get 2 more bonus chests in the top 3, 1 if you're in the top 5, or whatever, So there's totally ways they could do it. I like that point.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. But I think overall, like, we've gotten kind of into the complaints too. I think that overall with the saving teams and setting your own custom AIs, dude, like, that was such a freaking amazing update, dude. Like, it's just so well done, man.
Very well done.
Like, it's made me enjoy the game more, like a lot more, It
has. And I'm learning, when you play the game now as a new player and having these features, it helps a lot. So one thing I don't understand is why they lock it behind level 30, because you have to be level 30 before you can even use team setup. And I guarantee you, by the time you've hit level 30, you kind of understand what you're doing. Like, I mean, you figured it out by really level 20 at that point. You've got an idea what the game is. So I don't think it's something too complicated. Most other gachas are way more complicated than this one from what I've seen. Like, this is a fairly basic one. Even the screen user interface like this is all fairly limited and simple. So I think they could throw it at people a little earlier. I think the new experience is way, way better than it used to be.
Yep, I agree 100%, man. What do you think, to kind of answer or to give you a follow-up question on your original question, what do you think regarding if this game does live for 5, let's just say 10 more years, what do you think is the biggest thing that they need to kind of work on?
The biggest?
Yeah.
Ways for players to interact.
Yeah.
I think is 100%.
I agree with you.
And not to continue the previous conversation.
Social experience.
But it's the game feels like a game of defeating different puzzles based upon the tools you are basically polling. The game does not feel like a gacha game where you're all starting a new account together and then because every other game has like a shard system where you're competing with people that will start at the same time, or in most new gachas now you can literally see the other people in the game. It gives you a feeling of a living, breathing world. In this game, you get the feeling of a Game Boy game where it's like you plugged in the cartridge and you're just playing a game. Like I don't feel anywhere in this game that there's other people in it.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, we have a lot of things like legendary books and silver issues and dupe system and all that stuff. But to me, those are like big issues. But you're right. In terms of like macro 30,000 foot view issues, I'm with you 100%, man. Or micro, I guess I should say, because it's the channel. But dad jokes. See, they come included with the Ash collab, bro.
There it is.
But yeah, I think we have to focus on the social. The social experiment of the game is 100% not experiment, but the social aspects of the game are 100% like a huge sticky item to have inside of any game. Yeah.
And the social aspect can even bring the strategy level of the game. Like I know Deadwood would absolutely go crazy if they straight up copied Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Territory War system, where it's you put down 5 characters, and you put down lines of characters in a row, and you have to beat the certain people there to go. Because then even new players are useful. It's like, I'm a new player, but I managed to build one of these common defensive teams. And then people like, Murder Inc., Manabo, Scratch, all the Platinum Arena players suddenly have tons of content to make, because now they can make a tier list of these different 4-team combos you make and what's good to combo one. They get new content. I get more content because now I have something to complain about again. So, I mean, there's tons of stuff in there for everybody, So I 100% believe that the easiest way forward, just to straight up to give them the solution, is like, dude, just straight up copy Territory Wars. Just copy it.
No, and you mentioned that before. I think on one of the collabs on my channel, I think at one point in the past, you mentioned that and you kind of broke it all down how it works. And I was like, wow, because I've never played Star Wars Galaxy, but that sounds perfect for Raid.
It would really, and it would be a perfect system, and all it is just a sequence of arena battles, basically. But they're not. It's you interacting with people, and everyone's gear comes into play, which means your account's unique polls come into play more. So it's like, I don't have a very good team, but I have a 85 billion% damage Trunda, so I can one-shot one of their teams. Okay, great. Well, Ash, what you're going to do is put only your garbage on defense and save that team for the offense attack. Now you're going to one-shot, their weakest squishy team that also does damage or whatever, And so you have a row, but... Anyway, tell you what, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to flip around on you now. One last thing. Sure. How about you? What is it that, other than social experience, what is it you would change or add to the game? Because they are adding things to the game. They add the Forge, they're adding clan versus clan. They're slowly adding things. What is it that you would really like to see?
Jeez, man. Other than social experience,
I took the good one for myself.
Because I know, because that's like everything, right? Even like they're gonna have a Hydra clan boss. We know at some point here, like probably towards the end of this year, early next year. But even that, like, I would say it needs to be more social, even more than the current clan boss. You need to have different teams have to go in, because that's the key to this, the real longevity in this game. So anything they add to the game, I want it to have more of that kind of social teamwork type ability. And to the beautiful point that you made, Darth, too, is that like it gives players who are not maxed, who are not big spenders, who are not whales, still having a use, right, to their team, to their clan. And I love that, But, okay, so take away all that stuff.
All of it. I'm taking away all of that from you, and now you, off the top of your head, on video, on a time clock, while pressured.
With millions watching.
Dude, please, Shoot. If millions start watching this, I'm going on vacation, baby.
All right. I mean, and we're not including like fixing all the stuff that we talked about, because obviously, like, I think it would be the key system. Like, we've already we've already talked about that, but we're trying to think of something outside the box, man.
I'm going to take away literally all of the points we've talked about
take away
in the
everything.
29 minutes and 19 seconds, and now you have to add something new. I'm pulling more content fresh from your brain, putting it on my channel, and adding an add-in. That's what's happening right now.
Arn, man, one of your viewers right now is like, I had the perfect idea if only I was the guest on.
Yeah, he's yelling in the mic. Ash,
he's like,
say this, Ash.
I don't know, man. I think that like, oh God, bro. I'm trying to blank. I got nothing, man. We talked about everything important. What do you? What do you have anything like more?
What?
I
It's
think
on
they have
top
enough
of
new
it?
content.
All right.
I think they have enough new content too. Like I think that Doom Tower is awesome. A silver tower where we can farm silver. I'll go with that, man. I'll go with
A
that.
silver tower? Okay, I'll accept it. How
Yeah.
about finally opening the Void
Thanks.
Tower?
Well, that's
Whatever
what I'm
the
talking
Void
about.
Dungeon
Like,
is, whatever
yeah,
this thing
like,
is.
I mean, I'm still like I'm a sucker, man. Like I pull shards on shard events. I'm a sucker for this game, and I know it. This game is a gotcha game, and they've got me right.
They got me the
guilty
first
as
year.
charged. But with that said, like, dude, I'm excited about like seeing what Void Tower is gonna be. That dungeon, like, I get a little giddy. Like, okay, what's that gonna be? Like, who is this boss they teased to us? You know that boss with like 8 hands or whatever? Was it 8 hands or 8 heads? I forgot.
Bro, if we
Do you know
had
what I'm talking about or
everything
no?
that they said was actually coming into the game. So
I know you lose track. You lose track.
I'm gonna hit you with
But
this real
yeah,
quick. All right,
hit me.
here's it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put you on the spot one more time. Are you ready?
Before
Because
this
the last
video,
one
by
went.
the way, before this video, you were like, it's gonna be like 10 minutes, I think. 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's a 10-minute video. We got another 10
love
more
it.
minutes and we're done. Last question, then. He's giving me he's like,
I'm just joking. No,
Wrap it
no,
up.
dude, I love this.
wrap it up, DM.
I love this. I just loved how off. Same thing when you came on my channel. I was like, probably it was shoot for a half an hour. It was an hour and 10 minutes, but go on.
To be fair, I think we did a pretty solid video. I mean, we had it was nonstop informative. I feel like it was full of a plethora of
Yes.
well strung out ideas.
Yes, me too. I'm really happy with it. What's your last question?
Okay.
Or what's your other question?
Oh, the last question. Right. Here you go with the last question, which is, good sir, I need you to guess how many millions, that's right, millions of dollars did they make in the month of May?
How many millions in the month of May? So they had 1 million new players. We know that. I'll say they made 4 million. Nah. I'm redoing it. 15 million.
15?
Yeah,
Okay,
15.
all right. I mean, I was going to say 4 is a little low there because they made $23 million
All right.
in the month
23
of
million.
May.
Sounds about right. And I think that in terms of their UI, I think that or UA, I should say, that they have like the most aggressive policy out there. And I like it as a content creator for the game, right? So I think that out of that 20 million, I bet they paid half of it in marketing.
Yeah, no, they're out there shelling out the dollars for sure.
Which is testament to the 1 million new players as well. So there we go. That's a lot of money though.
Shout out to the 1.1 new players. Make sure all of you subscribe to both me and Ash's channel because it would definitely help us both out with a nice solid 1.1 million new subscribers. Would probably be no big deal. All right, any last words? Because his agent's giving me the wrap it up, DM.
Dude, I am here for as long as you want. I love these videos, bro. Any last words? Nah, man. I think that this is a great chat, like you said. We brought up a lot. I'm curious to just throw the question back, I guess, to your viewers. Like, I'm gonna ask them the tough question, but anything goes for you guys.
Okay.
But what do you think would be the biggest factor in Raid Shadow Legends living 10 years? I'm gonna go read your comments too because I want to see what we're missing. So throwing it at your viewers is my last comment, man. But thanks so much for having me on. All
right, we're going to see how smart the viewers are. Make sure you watch, which I don't know when our video is going to be out. This one's probably going to be out like after I'm done editing it, so very soon. But on Ash's channel, go check it out.
Tomorrow.
Pin comment. It will be to his channel. So, all right.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, viewers. We love you. And okay, goodbye now. Goodbye. All right, his agent's like, wrap it up, DM. Wrap it up.